Hello, it is 12 noon in Brussels. It's 7 p.m. in Tokyo. I'm Monita Rajpal.
And I'm Zain, Verjee. You're watching CNN, the world's news leader, and this is World One live from London.
This hour, the world is watching, especially the markets, as Europe's leaders gear up for Wednesday's summit in Brussels. Their mission is to come up with a plan to contain the debt crisis. All the action is right now in Berlin, and CNN's Fred Pleitgen is standing by to tell us what's actually shaping up to be a pretty manic Wednesday for Angela Merkel. Fred?
Yeah, I think Manic Wednesday is probably exactly the right word. What's happening right now is that parliamentarians are gathering inside the German Parliament. Angela Merkel is set to...
And that's the problem, isn't it? That's the crux of this problem right now, because she doesn't really have all the support. The German public isn't in favor of taking such a lead role in all of this right now. They're saying they just want to deal with their own issues right now. And there's such fierce domestic opposition within Parliament in itself, within the Parliament, and we're seeing live pictures there right now and some images there against this German and the plans right now within within this rescue deal, I should say. Why is then Angela Merkel still so hell-bent on pushing forward?
Well, because she feels it's the only way to actually get all of this done. It's the only way to make the markets realize that they should still be lending money to European countries, even if those countries are still in a lot of trouble.
Well, there are some gloomy newspaper headlines on this subject today. Let's see what some of them are saying. In Australia, the Advertiser has the headline, "High-stakes poker game in Brussels." The comment piece goes on to say, one thing is clear, the potential failure of the European economy as a whole stems from the inevitable failure of its weakest links, and that is a failure of politics and economics. News here in the UK, and The Guardian has an analysis piece with the headline, "Time to unleash financial firepower or face single currency breakup." It says Europe's leaders have done everything apart from take the decisive action necessary to prevent a problem. The words make or break talks are much overused, but in this case, they are justified. And finally, on the Wall Street Journal, in the European edition, the headline is "The Greek Debt Fallout." The guest editorial says it's become fashionable to compare Greece and the euro crisis to the Lehman Brothers meltdown. Given the true scale of the problem, though, it's hard not to worry that Europe's crash and the ripple effects around the globe could be even worse. Syrian state television is broadcasting pictures from Damascus showing a large demonstration in support of President Bashar al-Assad. The rally is in Umayyad Square in the capital, and there are also reports of a pro-Assad rally in the northeastern city of Hasaka. Nima Al-Bagir is following the story. She joins us now with more on that. And we often been reporting on the demonstrations against, calling for the ouster of President al-Assad. But now we're seeing more support for him. Where is this coming from?
Well, I think this is very indicative of the fact that this rally is being held in Damascus, where we really haven't seen the trend towards the massive
Prosecutors in the United States say they have cracked a smuggling ring that supplied American-made equipment to insurgent bomb makers in Iraq. They say it started with 4 Singaporeans who bought electronic components in the U.S. and sold them to an Iranian businessman. Well, U.S. prosecutors say at least 16 of the devices they tracked turned up in roadside bombs in Iraq. Remy Inocencio, Asia business analyst, joins us now to explain what happened next. He joins us now from our Hong Kong bureau. It's a really, it's quite a confusing story here. Help us understand what exactly happened.
Well, sure thing, Monita. First of all, this huge international story actually centers on the tiny city-state of Singapore, and it's there that 5 men stand accused of conspiring to actually circumvent U.S. export controls to get those American electronics into Iran and Iraq. Now,
thank you very much.
This is World One live from London.
Still to come, when roads turn into rivers.
Just take a look at these pictures. They give you a really clear...
Thailand's government is shifting into crisis mode as floodwaters continue to push further into Bangkok. Meteorologist Mari Ramos is at the World Weather Center, and she's monitoring the situation for us from there. Mari.
Yeah, you know what, Monita, this is a situation that is going to be critical.
The UN expects the world's population will reach 7 billion by this time next week, less than 13 years after it passed the 6 billion mark. As part of our coverage, we've called on our eye reporters to help us visualize just how big 7 billion is. Well, we want to start here with Veronica Pantaleon Mendoza of San Juan City. Philippines decided to start with a grain of rice. Well, that 1 grain of rice helps make a cup of rice. Well, 5 cups of rice makes 1 kilogram of rice. To get 7 billion grains of rice, you would need almost 200,000 kilograms of rice. Well, next we then take you to Chile in Santiago, where Bernardo Strumer decided to take a walk to help visualize 7 billion. Now, he figured out that taking 7 billion steps would take him around the world, around the planet, 133 times, and that he would not return home, forget this, 152 years. And then finally we take you to Chicago, Illinois, and Luke Georgette decided to use names to represent 7 billion. The 22-year-old figured out that to name every person on Earth, he would have had to name 10 people per second for every second since he was born. Now, to see more visualizations of 7 billion, just head to CNNIReport.com. Moments ago, a new type of airplane touched down at Hong Kong's International Airport. We're talking about the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, and our very own Andrew Stevens was aboard for its maiden commercial flight, and he showed us this report.
The first commercial flight of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner has touched down here in Hong Kong.
Well, it's not just aviation buffs who are celebrating today. Happy Diwali to Indians around the world. The Festival of Lights, which lasts for 5 days, is when hundreds of millions celebrate the victory of light over darkness. And lots of light here and lots of colors. You can see roses and other flower petals are in high demand as gifts. This farmer in Ahmedabad is checking his supplies on the eve of the holiday. And it's also time for pink roses, lots of vivid colors. This picture is from Amritsar, a potter dyeing clay, oil clamps in shocking pinks. Actually looks like flower petals to me. It's just absolutely beautiful. And then over here, another big picture for another big feature of Diwali is the fireworks with crackers as well. That's from someone painting one of the gods here to ward off evil spirits as well, and the firecrackers as well to ward off evil spirits. A lot of lights, a lot of color, and a lot of sound. So happy Diwali to everyone out there. Welcome back. One of the top strikers in football has been punished for apparently staging the wrong kind of strike. For more on that story and the rest of the sports headlines, we're joined by Pedro Pinto. ¿Qué pasa?
It's good to see both of you together again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Zain decided to show up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Monita.
Yeah, that's the small talk, right?
That's the small talk.
Let me get down to business. Carlos Tevez has been fined £1 million or $1.6 million by passion.
Well, you're our hero, and that was pretty awesome for that sports update. So thank you.
That was the cheesiest
I know, right?
rap link.
You didn't like that?
Huh?
What are you expecting?
I did.
Guys,
Seriously. Zain, back to you.
you're watching World One live from London. No bar, no bath, no decent food.
What's the point? By the end of the space shuttle program leaves the U.S. unable to launch people into space by itself. It's now relying on Russian help, which turns the spotlight on private space flight companies, Zain.
One of those companies hopes to usher in the age of space tourism by offering a holiday that is truly out of this world.
I love how he said, no, you can't afford it.
You're watching World One. Live from London, I'm going to win that lottery ticket. I'm Zain Verjee.
I'm Monita Rajpal. Stay with CNN, the world's news leader.